afternoon. Yeah, no, the title is pretty spot on. Stop buying so many guns. Alright? Before we get into that, I want to address some comments. Number one, to all those who suggested that I should use wooden matches or a soft lighter, thank you very much. I appreciate the feedback. I lit this one with a strike-on match, and it has been quite pleasant. It's not hot. It's very smooth. And to the guy who said the pipe is a gimmick and all the information is bogus and all that other stuff, I hope you have a God-blessed and wonderful life. Now, what am I say? Stop buying so many guns. Alright, let's think about this. Okay. Let's say there's a real nice 338 Lapua sitting in somebody's shop for a steal of price. Alright. And you look at that and go, man, I'd love to have a 338. That'd be fantastic. I'd shoot long range. I'd do this. I'd do that. All this other stuff, right? Well, you buy that gun. And, you know, it might shoot great. It might be fine. Then you look at the price of ammo. And you think, well, I mean, 338, it's going to be, you know, $80 a box, $100 a box, right? That's, you know, that's kind of par for the course. Well, it doesn't matter if it's a 338, if it's a 308, if it's a 22, if it's a 50 BMG. You got to break it in. You got to break it in. You got to sight it in. And if you want to do long range, you got to practice with it. And you got to practice with it a lot. So the cost of ammo, just ammo, eats into you. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Is how the hidden cost of guns is what really gets a lot of people, and what actually ends up getting a lot of people out of the hobby. Many of y'all walk into a gun shop without a plan. You walk in there and you think, oh, I'm going to get a new AR. That's fantastic. What brand? What barrel length do you want? What accessories are you going to put on it? You know, how much is the upfront cost going to be? How much is the accessories going to be? The optics mount, the sling that you're going to put on it, how many mags you're going to do, how many rounds of ammo you're going to do, what kind of ammunition is it actually going to like? Are you going to shoot jacketed? Are you going to shoot monolithic? Because mono and jacketed have two different kinds of material on the outside, so it's got to have a different kind of break-in period. You need to put that into account. Same thing whenever it comes to handguns. Okay, I bought a Glock 43X a little while ago. Okay, the gun itself cost me about $660, give or take. All right, but combined with the optic, the flared magwell, the ramjet, the extra mags, the ammunition, everything like that, it all came out to about $1,200. Okay, literally twice what the gun was worth. Alright, that doesn't count how much ammo I've used just breaking that thing in. Okay, people don't buy things nowadays with a plan. Okay, a lot of our society today, and you can look back in the history books on this, especially whenever it comes to the father of propaganda. His name escapes me at the moment, but I'll probably put it in the description later. They made a point of it to direct our society to a consumerist-based society, right? Because a lot of the goods we were making were no longer sufficient to uphold the economy that we were creating on a global scale. So instead, they turned to the American people and turned us to consumerism, which includes and not limited to the gun market. Fun little fact about gun companies, gun corporations, they don't care about you. They really don't. Okay? What they care about is money at the end of the day. They don't care about how well you're able to defend yourself. They don't care about, you know, what you're hunting or what you're doing. There's a couple here and there, but they eat that. Like Smith & Wesson, Ruger, all those guys. Like, you really think they care about you? They kind of don't. They only care about making their bottom dollar. Okay? Now, with that in mind, you need to treat them like you would, you know, buying a car. I mean, would you really, if you had any sense, are you really going to go just onto the car dealership and go like, give me what you think is best? No, you're not. You're going to sit there, you're going to do research, you're going to see what the gas mileage is, you're going to see what the reliability is, how much it can tow, what it can weigh, all these different things. What kind of problems I've had with it in the past. Okay, do your research. And I've been there. I've done that. I've gone in there and I bought something, and then I watch all the YouTube videos on it, and then I find all the problems with it, and then I realize, oh, I bought a lemon, or oh, I bought something pretty good. You know? Approach guns the same way. All right. Now, another thing too, unless you have the money for it, stop buying them. Okay, buy one, maybe two, and have a specific job for them. Otherwise, stop buying them. Okay? Many of the guns that I see people buy are impulse buys. They are not for any kind of specific use. They are not for anything like that. They are impulse buys. Now, I know I said in the last video, buy something that you like, buy something that's cool, and I still stand by that. Okay? But if you can't afford it, you need to just get the tool. And you need to have that tool with a specific job. And that is it. Okay? Focus on getting better groceries. Focus on, you know, saving money. You know, all that kind of stuff. That's what you need to focus on. You don't need to buy the latest, you know, shotgun that's come up from Benelli. Okay? Stop doing that. That brings me into something else. Guns are a stupid investment. Okay? They really, really are. And I mean everything from buying, you know, a decent Smith & Wesson to buying like an eclectic elephant gun. Their resale value is garbage. Okay? You, pound for pound, dollar for dollar, you are far better off buying the equivalent price of that gun in gold or silver, or even copper. You have a better resale value on copper, dollar for dollar, than you would buying any of these guns and then selling them even 10 years from now. Okay, if you look at especially silver prices nowadays, good God, the amount that silver prices explode, it's almost doubled in the last year. You know, last year it ended up exploding because of a bunch of globalist stuff going on with silver mines across the planet. But regardless, it doubled in price. Your engraved collector edition's lever action is not going to do that. Okay, your grandchildren might get an investment return on it. That's about it. So stop buying guns for investment. Okay. Stop using the whole, oh, it's an investment as a reason to buy guns. I think that's a better way to word that. All right. Now, back to what you need to do whenever you're buying a gun, what you need to research. Okay. I touched a little bit on buying ammo for a break-in period. Now, what is a break-in period? Now, a lot of guys will say, oh, it's just buying a box, buying 2 boxes of ammo and just running the gun through it. I hate to tell you that's not good enough. Okay? A lot of reasons that people end up having problems with certain guns is because they do not shoot them enough. They don't break the springs in. They don't actually end up shaving off and wearing things down that they need to be worn down. You know, there are burrs and bolts. There are, you know, like I said, inconsistencies and strength issues in springs and stuff like that. So, for semi-autos, typically, you need to run them through with anywhere from about 200 to 500 rounds. Okay, and that's everything from your AR to your handgun of any sort, except for maybe Glock, and maybe an M&P. Okay, even then, you need to break them in order for them to be consistent with you, and in order for you to be able to sight them in properly. Okay, a lot of people don't really understand, and I don't know why anymore. But when you shoot, the gilding metal, which is the jacket of your bullet, okay, the gilding metal on your bullet gets left behind in that barrel, and that is not a bad thing. Okay, when it leaves that material behind, what that ends up doing is actually creating a even transition onto the rifling. Okay, it makes it to where your rifling grooves being cut is not as intrusive. All right, it actually makes it to where your gun is more accurate. If you don't believe me, just look into Ron Spomer, look into Backcountry Hunting Podcast. They've done umpteen different videos on that, especially in the Thompson Center. I think the Thompson Center Compass? No. It was the Taurus. It was the Taurus Expedition, I believe. The only Taurus bolt action that they have at time of recording, July 10th, 2026. All right, they took that gun, first 10 round string, sucked. I mean, it 3 MOA, 4 MOA, not great. After that, 1/2-inch grips. And they were letting the rifle cool, they were opening the bolt, they were letting air flow through, they were actually cooling it down, and then it shot like a dream. Okay, because that metal jacket ended up staying behind. That is something you need to take into account when you buy guns. When you look at your next, rifle, when you look at your next handgun, you need to look at that thing and think, okay, can I afford to shoot, out of a semi, anywhere from 200 to 500 rounds out of that? If the answer is no, and you don't actually need it, don't get it. Take that money and put it towards something else. Put it towards something better. Go out on a nice dinner date. That's several dinner dates. Something, anything. All right. Another thing too, a lot of people keep on buying guns as impulse buys, and then you never shoot them. Why? It's not like guns are not the tool that you keep in your shed for just in case, and years down the road you might actually use it. Okay, you like to think that, I like to think that, that's not how it works. For every single practical application, you are probably going to go to 1, maybe 2 different guns. Okay, if you live on a farm, okay, 9 times out of 10 you're either going to have an AR or shotgun. Okay, unless your situation is a little bit different, or you have different preferences, what have you. Okay, but 9 times out of 10, everything that you're doing on a farm can be taken care of just fine with a 5.56 or 300 blackout AR or some sort of shotgun. Okay, very, very seldom have I ever seen, except for dispatching livestock, have I ever seen anybody use a handgun for anything on the farm. Okay, dispatching livestock and maybe snakes. And even then, a better snake weapon is a shovel. All right, stop wasting ammo on snakes. All right. So yeah, when you look at guns, when you look about buying guns, look into how much the ammo actually costs. How much are you actually going to shoot it? Look into cost per use. Okay, that'll help you in so many different things that is not just firearms. Okay, cost per use. Look into what kind of accessories you need to put on it. Okay, not the good enough, not the, oh, this will work for now. Get what you need for it. Put it on there, but account for that cost. Add all that up together and then look at it and say, do I actually need this? If the answer is no, just don't get it. No one's pressuring you. Just don't. Alright? Keep your money and don't get it. Now, last thing I'll end off with, and it's sappy as all hell, but it's true. Fear the man with one gun. Fastest guys in the world, they just use a stock Glock 19. Okay? If you look at some of the highest ranking USPSA shooters, okay, in open division, they're using a Glock 19. Okay, stock Glock 19. Why is that? Because it's simple, it's reliable, and it is the thing that they know, and they know it very, very, very well. All right? Having one gun for everything is not a single point of failure that a lot of people think it is. Okay? It is the ability to take that one gun and apply it to all things, have it as a jack of all trades, and be the most accurate and the fastest with it. Alright? Now, yes, there's a tool for every job, and I do agree with that. I'm not going to go skeet shooting with a .22 pistol. Okay? But if I'm going to take one gun to go, deer hunt, or elk hunt, or bear hunt, 308 will do it just fine, or 30-06, 301 mag. But have that one. Buy things for that one gun, you've already cut your cost. Okay? Buying ammo for that one gun, you're also cutting your cost because you're not diversifying. Okay? Having one gun, practicing one gun actually comes out to be less expensive in the long run. I promise. Alright? Now, y'all have a good one. Stay safe. And have fun. Stop buying what you don't need. Take care.